and welcome to The 80sist, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally 80s song ever to blare from the muddy speakers of a Boardman, Ohio Pizza Hut jukebox. And in Cleveland, I'm Keith Marsteller. Joining me, as always, from Seattle, it's the creator of The 80sist, my stalwart companion and friend. He is my incredible co-host as well. His name is Joe Walk. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Keith. Listen, there's something I wanted to bring up.
What's that?
Well, so I feel like listenership has plateaued a bit.
Really? Well, I don't think that's particularly
Okay. Well,
true
regardless, I think it might be time to do a small amount of rebranding.
Rebranding, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, like what form are you thinking this rebranding might take? Like
Just,
names?
nothing big. Just a slight, adjustment to our name.
Our name?
Yeah.
Okay. So can we just please cut to the chase here? Like, you must have an idea, right? What do you want to call us?
So I was thinking JoJo and the 80sist.
JoJo and the 80sist. That sort of cuts me right out, though, doesn't it?
All right. So what about JoJo and the 80sist with no ticket?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no on this. I'm gonna just shut it down. Thanks.
All right, let's let's think about it. Let's just let it simmer for a bit.
All right.
Okay.
We'll keep it open. We'll keep the communication lines open here. All right.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to JoJo and the 80sist.
Welcome back.
I thought I'd try it out. I don't know. We'll see what people think. It is a beautiful day, and it is our 23rd show of Side B. And in this beautiful show, we're going to continue the Singers region with our third matchup, Joe. It's number 5 seed, head to toe, against 12 seed, Simply Irresistible. And
all right.
So that's a matchup. I'll never let you live that down, I guess. Let's get right into it, though, with the tale of the tape. Fight!
2 songs enter. 1 song leaves.
It's the tale of the tape. He's out!
All right. Number 5, head to toe, is from the album Spanish Fly by Lisa and CultJam. It was released as a single in March of 1987, and it reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow. I would not have guessed before doing the research that this was a number 1 song. But there it is. Yeah. And in this corner, 12 seed Simply Irresistible is from the album Heavy Nova. Sounds like an uncomfortable dump, doesn't it? Anyway, by Robert Palmer. And it was released as a single on May 31st of 1988. It reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, so it was outdone by Lisa in this case, but Robert Palmer has a little extra feather in his cap because this song won him the Grammy Award for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance for this song, which I also did not remember that. So
I could not have told you that. No,
that's why we do this show. I guess we're refreshing people's memories, regurgitating. Pulling up. Regurgitating is the wrong word. We're churning up memories. I don't know what we're doing.
So we're like birds. We're chewing up the memories and then we're spitting them back out in the mouths of our listeners.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. I knew I was on the right track with that analogy.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks for bringing it home. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's play these.
That's what I do.
That's what you do. Let's play this shit. And number 5 seed, head to toe. intro long enough for you, Joe?
I mean, they take their time. They're setting a mood.
Bit of verse chorus for Head to Toe, and we'll jump straight into Robert Palmer's Simply Irresistible. This one has a bit of a long-ish guitar twinkling there, but we'll get to it. Here it comes. There you go. So, that's a little bit of that. We'll have to do a needle drop to get that whole "she's so fine, there's no telling where the money went" bit later, but that was going to come for a while, you know. All right. Those are the two songs. You got to hear them back to back. What are they doing here? Joe, did you think the assignment was 1880s?
Keith, I have to seriously question your level of taste here. All right, so number 5, Head to Toe, comes in with 74 points. It was number 19 on my list, and Keith had it at number 55. So both responsible, but more me.
More Joe. 12 seed Simply Irresistible saunters in with 96 points, 31 of them from Joe, and I did not rank it. It was at 65 points for me, although I will point out it was in my top 100, but it didn't make the top 64. So this is a 100% Joe responsibility, however, for it being here right now. So
you're goddamn right.
So it's a Joe heavy episode, although again, I did have Head to Toe ranked, so I am a little bit for that one. Now, Joe, speaking of Head to Ho, Head to Ho, Head to Ho.
Ted to Ho.
Speaking of Ted to Ho, do you like these songs? Let's start with Head to Toe. What do you think about that song?
It's okay. It was never one of my favorites, but it did stick with me. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like pretty similar. I think if I heard it now, I would just summarily dismiss it and not like it at all. It's one of those soundtrack of the 80s songs to me that I don't love it now. I don't seek it out, but when I hear it, I'm like, all right, that reminds me of this year or whatever. So, yeah, that's where it kind of falls for me. And
what about Simply Irresistible?
You know, it's all right. It's all right, I guess. I guess I was kind of drumming along to it when it was playing. I don't hate it. I don't love it necessarily. What about you? Where does it come out for you? More
I
of a
think
fan?
at the time I liked it quite a bit. Hearing it now in my mid-50s, I'm like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't like it enough to like go out and buy the album, but I did like the song at the time.
Yeah. Okay, so you did not have Heavy Nova, and
No.
I assume that you did not have Spanish Fly either, the Lisa.
I did not.
And I did
Who
not
am I,
either.
Bill Cosby?
Oh, ouch. Just for the record, pun intended, I did not get either of these sent to me by Columbia House. So.
Okay.
All right, well, let's get this party started with Lisa and CultJam. And were they a one-hit wonder? No, they were not. Now, let's see if Joe remembers either of their other big hits. One of their biggest hits was Lost in Emotion. I don't know if this sounds any different. Here's the chorus.
Lost in emotion, telling you things you really should know. Baby, I'm lost in emotion. Am I a fool?
Maybe vaguely
familiar?
Que Sarah. So
Okay,
there's
kind of familiar.
kind of familiar. That was a big
Yeah.
hit for them. And then the very moving ballad, All Cried Out. And I'm going to point out that this one is with Full Force. Lisa and CultJam with Full Force. In this case, here's the extremely overdramatic chorus.
I gave you my love in vain. My body never knew such pleasure. My heart never knew such pain. And you leave me so confused. Now I'm all
Joe knows this one, guys. He's singing along
Oh,
with it.
dear God, I know this song. I completely forgot about it, but yes.
Listen to this guy.
Yes. Oh, is that
right.
Full Force?
That's part of Full Force right there. Oh, no.
Nice.
I'll put him back in the clear. All right, anyway. So there, you do remember that one.
Oh, yes, vividly.
Yeah. That's super melodramatic type stuff.
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
right
but
there.
oh my God, I haven't listened to that song since
it-
high school.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
We might as well do a quick meg meter on Lisa and CultJam. I assume that is not a sister album.
Could not say. I do not recall hearing it in the house. So to be clear, most of side B,
Yeah.
most of side B is going to be after she graduated from high school,
Yeah.
and so some of that time she was not living with us.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
So it's like
it's hard to know what she was listening
hit
to
and
at that
miss.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that is a little more of Lisa and CultJam. And then let's just immediately examine, and did you find any research on this? What the fuck is Full Force? Do you know
So,
the answer to that?
I do.
All
do.
right.
Full Force are the guys that produced her. So she had this audition, and Full Force are the producers that put her in CultJam. They took her, put her with these two other guys, and bam, there's CultJam. And I did not. I mean, I was the name confused me for a very long time. It's another
Yeah.
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse kind of band
It
name.
absolutely is that. There's so much
Yeah,
going
because-
on in the name.
Because Lisa is in CultJam. The band is CultJam, but because Lisa was special, that was
Right.
Lisa and CultJam.
It's like they were the Beaters, and then they became Billy Vera and the Beaters, right?
Right. Yeah.
And things like that. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, right? Things like
Right.
this, where you take that featured player and you stick them up above the rest of the group. Like, some asshole might suggest going, JoJo and the 80s list or something. Like, that
Right.
kind of
Something
shit.
like that.
Yeah.
But what douchebag would do that?
All right, so she gets put out in front of CultJam, but she is in CultJam. And
Right.
then Full Force is producing the record,
Right.
but then they also end up playing on the record.
Right. And then it's Lisa and CultJam with Full Force.
Right. But they weren't always given credit with Full Force, but Full Force
Right.
was always there.
Right. Whether you knew them or not.
Whether you knew it or not, I saw an interview when I was doing the region preview for like the main guy in Full Force, whose name I've already forgotten, but it sounded like almost like he created CultJam, like those boy bands of the 90s kind of got created. It's like he made it, and like he even wrote some of the music, and he stuck them out on stage, and he even went as far as to say the dudes in Full Force were pretending to play instruments that the dudes in CultJam were pretending to play instruments that he and the Full Force guys were actually playing on the record.
Ooh.
And it just sounded like kind of Milli Vanilli-ish.
Yeah.
Very weird. They're putting these folks out there to make them look like stars, but really Full Force deserves the credit. So then they were like, we should put our name on it.
That ain't right.
Anyway, yeah.
That ain't right.
It's a whole weird thing. But how 80s is this song to you, Joe? And let's talk about why.
This song is pretty goddamn 80s. The opening drum machine and synth, right from the get go, are super 80s.
It's very strong drum machine action here, like very forward in the mix.
And then
And then
the filtering that they put on her voice, to me, it's like the audio equivalent of glamour shots.
oh yeah, you can hear. There's almost like there's a synth backup of her voice playing behind her voice.
Something, yeah.
And there's accent synth going right along behind her vocals, but there is that bit at the end of the line where you can hear herself singing under herself. Well, we had it back here. I probably should have marked this. But anyway, I know what you're. Yeah, if we've already heard it, but yeah, there's some processing here. There's the synth here is not as crazy in your face as it is in some of our other songs.
That's
But
true.
that's because they've chose to slam the drum machine in your face, essentially.
Right.
Like there's
it's
room.
very drum forward.
Yeah. There's no room. The synth is kind of just has to fall between the cracks and kind of live there.
I got to say, another thing that makes it 80s, I have a needle drop here for you.
All right. Let me go to 140 for those who want to listen
140.
at home. And, okay, do you want me to just play it?
Oh, so I'm going to set up real quickly. This is a very, very 80s reference. If you said that, it's the second line that we're about to play, I think. There's an open line, there's a second line. If you say the second line is a quote from something, and if you say it's someone, millennials or older or younger, they will have no idea what you're talking about.
That's true. Okay, here we go. Oh,
there it
you
is.
go.
It's a
Yes.
Carl Malden quote, y'all.
The American Express card. Don't leave home
right.
without it. Yeah.
Yep.
So she drops that. His kisses are
it's
credit
really
in
kind
my
of right.
bank
It's
of
like
love.
she might have just said, "Where's the beef?" There.
She might as well have thrown in another 80s ad catchphrase right there. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So we've covered who Full Force is. We got a needle drop there. We talked about the drum beats. There is a very 80s guitar solo at 3:14, which I'll give you a bit of right here. It's generous to call this a solo, but
It ain't great.
yeah. Oh, nice. There's a little more processed vocals for you. Anyway, that's over. So, did you see the video?
I did. I watched the video. I got to say, Lisa is very on point for the 80s with her hair and her outfits. Her hair was lifted from Roadhouse. You know, she's
nice.
Definitely got the Patrick Swayze.
She's got a Patrick
Roadhouse
Swayze
mullet going.
Roadhouse mullet. It might be a little curlier, but it's the same shape. Yeah.
There's a lot of neon on black backgrounds in the video, which
Tons of
again,
There's
pretty 80s.
geometric shapes.
Yep.
And there's also neon light, almost like frames, kind of hanging from the sky. And so, like, tons of neon and these weird geometric shapes. Very, very 80s. There is this weird, like, neon tunnel / birth canal.
It looked to me like maybe a bridge at an airport, but done in neon.
Yeah, it's like that famous bridge in the movie Catch Me If You Can. That's from like
That's exactly where my mind went. Except neon.
Yeah.
which was the I believe that was the TWA terminal at JFK.
JFK, right? Which I don't know if that's still in existence, but I wonder if
that terminal is a hotel now.
Yeah, they might have kept the bridge, I guess, but
they might have.
Anyway, so yeah, we both kind of went to that same. But yeah, it is a very strange. Lot of neon. They spent a lot of money putting neon up in that thing, unless it existed already somewhere.
But I mean, other than that, it's really a pretty standard performance video.
Super
I mean,
boring to me. Yeah.
Yeah. No story, nothing exciting happening.
CultJam. I have a note. CultJam sucks at faking instrument play.
Yes.
Like at several points, they look out of sync with the music they're supposed to be fake playing along to. And there's more than 2 people playing instruments, so I wonder if Full Force is actually in the video and just are uncredited. Because
it's possible.
CultJam should just be the 2 extra guys with Lisa. But
yes,
there was, and I don't know why they didn't do it more. There were like 4 seconds of breakdancing. Like these breakdancers kind of start to bust a move around Lisa, and then it's
I must have fallen asleep for that part.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's like she's in the tunnel, and there's a couple of breakdancers around her, and they start to like boom, like pop lock, and then they cut to something else, and then they never come back to them. And it's like, why they didn't make the final cut except for that one. They must have needed coverage for that one line she was lip syncing to, and they didn't have it anywhere else. I don't know.
That was their one moment to shine,
and they didn't even get to like start doing awesome moves. But yeah, so breakdancing, super 80s.
That's true.
Videos with really shitty fake instrument play. We've seen a lot of them. We've seen ones where they don't even attempt to play real instruments; they play fake instruments. True. We've seen videos with cardboard instruments and car part instruments.
Yep.
These guys are using real instruments, but they just suck at it. And Lisa is gamely trying to dance around.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's no Paula Abdul, though, you know, like dance-wise.
No.
Yeah. We've talked about Paula before. Like,
who amongst us is?
That's right. Kind of the queen of the lady dancing in the videos. I mean, yeah, she's untouchable. She'll possible legends bracket berth for her. But Lisa needed a little more dance training, I think. I think she had the amount of dance training that I have to get out there and like. But anyway,
to be fair, you got some moves.
Oh yeah, look out! If you like a good robot, I'm your guy. I can robot with the best of them.
Nice.
What else did you have on this one, Joe? You had something
I mean,
else?
that's pretty much it, except to note that possibly due to hard feelings about Lisa getting her name outside of CultJam, this band only lasted 7 years. And unlike a lot of 80s acts, there have been no reunions.
Interesting that they never came back and tried to cash in.
No, that's because CultJam is like, fuck Lisa.
And Full Force is probably like moved on.
Probably.
To, make another fake. They were involved in a lot of famous people's production stuff. Britney Spears and like Backstreet Boys. Yeah. Anyway, they're maybe not great artists, but famous,
popular ones.
Yeah, famous people. I will give it a +1 for having a definite ending. I don't like a fade out, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They had an echo out.
Echo. False ending there. They almost got you. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so big definite ending. That's all I've got on.
I don't like people who try to trick me, Keith.
Yeah. That's all I've got on this one, but I do rate it as pretty goddamn 80s.
Yeah, no, same.
All things, yeah. All right, you ready to move on to Robert Palmer then?
I am.
All right, well, we know Robert Palmer from many songs like this one, and, Addicted to Love, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you might as well face it. I'm looking at a chorus of it, and it's like, you're going to have to face it. You're addicted to love, and it's like, where is it? And he says, might as well face it, you're addicted to love 10 times 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 times in a row, Joe. I'm not going to play all 17 of them.
No, you don't need to do that.
But you know that song, right? You remember that one.
I'm going to point out,
yeah.
While Weird Al does not have a parody of Simply Irresistible, he did parody Addicted to Love.
With
Addicted to Spuds.
Which I don't have queued up, but trust me.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have thrown that out there.
No, it's great. Because I don't really remember that one. I know I've heard it, but I don't know all the lyrics like I do to some of the Weird Al stuff.
I get it.
Probably because it's him repeating Addicted to Spuds 18 times in a row in the middle of the song. It's a little excessive. You know, my kind of dislike for extreme repetition of a song hook.
Yes.
But Palmer also famous for this one, 1978. Bad Case of Loving You, Doctor. might remember this one. Let's see.
Oh, I do. And the Dr. Pepper commercial that appropriated it.
Yeah.
Bad case of loving you. No pills gonna cure my ill. I got a bad case of loving you.
So there you go. Oh, so that's
Nicely done.
So that's Robert Palmer. We've heard from him before on side A as a part of the Power Station.
Thank you for the article.
With Andy Taylor and John Taylor of Duran Duran. But now he is back on his own with Simply Irresistible. And Joe, what do you want to say about this song?
Well, I mean, I want to say that I was unaware before this that Robert Palmer, prior to these couple albums, had a really kind of super varied musical output. Like he was in a jazz fusion band. He recorded a reggae album. He was like very heavy into Northern Soul for a while.
Oh, hey, Northern Soul.
That's right.
We know someone who loves Northern Soul.
By gum, we do. And then by the late 70s, he was pretty much just straight up doing rock stuff. And I gotta say, at the time, this song had a much larger cultural footprint for me than Head to Toe did. If for no other reason than I was like, why is that dude wearing a suit when he's a rock singer? Why would he dress in a suit?
Most
doesn't
rock
make sense to
stars
me.
of the time were trying to look cool or tough and like wearing jeans and a t-shirt, or maybe throw a leather jacket in there.
They were a little less formal.
Yeah, a lot less. I mean, think of Rick Springfield. Think of
Do I have to?
David Lee Roth. What was he wearing, right? Spandex, tiger print, a half shirt if he had a shirt on at all.
Yeah.
Furthest thing, I don't know if I've ever seen David Lee Roth in a suit in any photo in the past 40 years. Something to think about. Maybe once. And maybe once in the Hot for Teacher video, I think he wore a tuxedo. But
nice.
regardless, people like that are normal rock and roll hero. Like, what was Steven Tyler wearing back then, right? A bunch of scarves and shit.
Leather, yeah.
Hang glider lapels. Anyway, so yeah, he definitely had a completely different look. And he was also famous for the look of his videos, wasn't he?
Yeah. So the video for this and for Simply Irresistible, and for Addicted to Love, both shot by a British fashion photographer. And you can feel that influence right there. And the videos were pretty huge in the 80s, to the point where they were kind of co-opted for a Diet Coke commercial. Was it Diet Coke?
That sounds right.
Yeah, and where they had the same kind of thing, where it's basically him and then these background dancers who are all dressed exactly alike in very tight
Very tight.
dresses with short skirts.
And like
kind of just
very extreme makeup to make their faces pale and their lips extremely red. It's like identical mannequins, kind of a women as objects kind of motif almost.
Exactly. Yeah. No individual identity whatsoever.
Dark hair, all slicked back so that none of them would have any different hairstyle. You know, it's like a wet look with a full slick back. And in this one, my wife and I watched this together tonight before the show. And she was like, okay, blatant boob shot. You know, like the camera, like they all just bend over and like, here comes the camera to pan by them all.
Yep.
And the same thing with butts. And it's like, you know, I hadn't seen it in a very, very long time. And it was, you know, it was not shocking. I mean, I've seen more, but it was like a kind of a, I didn't remember it being like this. And
no, it's real sexist. And I you know, being just a horny 17-year-old, I hadn't caught on to just how
I don't
it
expect
was.
you to have been, you know, fully prepared to have a critique on feminism back then, right? We were still learning, still growing, and we were living in a society that wasn't ready to be feminist yet, right?
The good news is we're heading back there, so yay!
Jesus. Oh, man.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. There was this weird thing, and it happened several times in the video, where the women are almost like they're standing up and they're kind of spooning each other, and then all kind of pelvic thrusting in unison in kind of like a sexual Rockettes. Kind of a weird, it's very weird to see it now. And there's a part later where these women are wearing like latex swimsuits and being doused in water.
Yep.
Now, did you happen to see any of the interviews where Bob Costas asks Robert Palmer about like the blatant sexism in his videos? I don't know if you came across that. Yeah, it's fun. It almost made it into the region preview, but the audio wasn't good enough. I think it was, and he said something along the lines of, Bob, have you seen what's on MTV right now? You think my stuff is offensive? You know, like basically saying there's worse stuff. And
I mean, I suppose, but
that's not a great defense.
no. It's like you know, Donald Trump saying, you know, well, they should make it illegal for me to do this with my taxes. It's not my fault. They should make it illegal.
They should make it illegal.
Yeah.
So yeah, the video, and the whole while he's cool cucumber on the microphone while all the women gyrate and perform
So
around
much
him.
gyration.
Yeah, and then Addicted to Love, they play the instruments behind him.
Right.
And there's another Robert Palmer song where there's also, you know, we saw it on YouTube when we were watching this, and there's a third one that also has the models. And I'm like, is this like the only thing he did with his videos, you know?
Well, no, just because it was those 3 videos shot by that same British fashion photographer.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
do you remember what the third one is? It's probably... Oh. I didn't mean to turn you on, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway. Regardless, I wonder if that guy is still directing videos. I'm guessing not.
So the guy's name was Terrence Donovan, I guess.
That's the director.
And
of
it was I Didn't Mean to Turn You On, Simply Irresistible, and Addicted to Love.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Does this qualify to you with their fashions and the treatment of women as being in itself 80s by being sexist and by being, you know what I mean?
It is. Well, the women look like the women are on purpose meant to look like subjects in a Nagel painting. You know, Patrick Nagel did. If you Google 80s, right? Like in the 80s. These paintings by the guy Patrick Nagel, which are all of women with a similar look to the women in the video.
Oh, wait. Is this the guy that did the Duran Duran Rio cover?
Yes.
I just Googled it. Okay,
Yeah.
so I can see, for those of you who can visualize the cover to Rio with a very washed out, very white face, very red lips, very dark hair. That's exactly what these women in the video are made to look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good on you for knowing about Patrick Nagel.
Well, I had to look up his first name, but I did
Yeah.
know his last name.
So,
An Ohio boy, apparently.
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you got on the song itself, Joe?
So, first off, I did not realize in my head. So you mentioned that it only reached number 2
Yeah.
on the Billboard
Just
Hot
missed.
100, which is because it couldn't dethrone "Sweet Child of Mine"
Guns N' Roses.
by Guns N' Roses,
Wow.
which is weird because in my head they were not contemporary, but apparently they were.
Yeah, I mean, Sweet Child of Mine was out when I was a senior in high school. There's a little for you guys.
Do you
might-
think people might have forgotten it?
You never know. You might hear a song by this band in our hair metal mini game that we, if possible.
Possible, could be.
So you guys remember that one?
Yeah, so that they are why he didn't hit number 1 with this song. You know, it's the sound of it to me is not as 80s as just the fact that it was so and he was so big in the culture that year.
Yeah.
You know, the video was all over the place. There's the iconic sound from this is I believe it like 55 seconds.
All right, let me try to
thereabouts.
needle drum. I'm going to hit it a little early so we don't miss it. I hope.
Okay.
Here we go.
Simply irresistible.
You know, it's the ching. Ching that pops up throughout that song.
Yeah, and I did not consider until now that we should have looked into what is making that noise. Like, where did that come from? And do you know there's a show, it might have also been in the 80s, A Current Affair. It was a news magazine with like Maury Povich, maybe. And it had like this pyramid that tumbled onto the screen, and then it went shing with kind of a similar noise. Of course, I don't have it ready to play it to compare it, but it makes me think of that. So,
all right, I can see that.
Well, Simply Irresistible to me is very much rock song. It does have synth sprinkled in there, like, bap, bap, you know, like, it's definitely got synth. I'm not going to say it's not 80s. And it does have an 80s hallmark for us, a shitty guitar solo. This might be better than the head-to-toe guitar solo. I'll give it that.
I would say so, but not great. And I'm going to pronounce this bit at the end.
Yeah, go ahead. And then at the end of that, what you want to set this up before I...
It's just a little bass squiggle.
Yeah, there's a fun bass squiggle here. I guess that's a good term for it. Here it comes.
It's like the bass is clearing its throat. It's pretty great.
I could definitely isolate that. You know, because I mean, I've already, after the Jody Watley show, I've got that it's ready. Nice. So maybe I ought to move to the to getting that bass noise, because it's pretty awesome.
I'm all for it. I mean, points for using the word inscrutable.
Absolutely. And here's...
Simply Irresistible.
I promised we would get to that She's So Fine segment.
Okay.
And it's in here somewhere, right?
Simply Irresistible.
I consider this part of the chorus, but it's not the first chorus.
Is he saying "Geez, oh man" there?
It sounds like it, yeah. But this also sounds like real drums to me, which shouldn't be a downgrade. But it is for 80s minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so... Yeah, those synthesizers are just kind of, they're sprinkled in there. It's not overarching, but it's...
Right.
And I will give it points for having a definite ending also. And this definite ending is better than Lisa's definite ending, because it's the iconic noise in the clear. Yeah.
Nice.
Tight. I do dig that ending.
I do too.
Oh, man.
One last thing I wanted to point out on this song is, and I don't know that I was aware of this, that Robert Palmer died of a heart attack when he was exactly our age.
Oh, I knew he was dead. I knew it was a heart attack. I did not realize it was our age. Do you know what year that occurred? He's been gone a while.
I want to say 2003?
Yeah, so it's been like 20 years without Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Joe, I guess eat your vegetables, keep walking, riding your bike. Yeah. We're not getting younger.
No, God damn it.
Man. So, those are our arguments.
Yep.
And the favorite today is an odd 5 seed, head to toe. And so that means that I will initiate the voting. And I'll tell you, coming into this, I was pretty much sure I was going head to toe. But listening to Simply Irresistible and the synth and the pa-ching, and just kind of thinking of it in context of when it came out, it really pushed me to consider it more. But in the end, I am going head to toe after all, but it is much closer than when I started this show. The decision was much more difficult than anticipated. So I am going to go with Lisa Lisa and CultJam with Full Force pulling the puppet strings from the background. How about you, Joe? Which way are you going?
Man, I don't know. Here's the thing: is like you, I was leaning head to toe, right up until you played the end of the song, for Simply Irresistible, and that ching at the end of the song.
Just enough?
It's like a siren call.
Yes.
All right, yeah, I gotta go Simply Irresistible on this one.
All right. Robert Palmer from the grave is very happy about that. All right. Well,
God.
we have split. It's one for Lisa Lisa, one for Robert Palmer. And Joe, we need more votes than that, though, don't we?
We do. And if you want to weigh in, maybe just tell us what you think of the real feminist video there. For Simply Irresistible. You can let us know what you think on our Substack, which is the80sest.substack.com. You can find us on Facebook by searching for the 80sest podcast. That's us.
Awesome. You'll be finding us all over all the podcast platforms, including Apple and Google and Spotify. And on Spotify, you'll find our region playlists. To find any of this stuff, just search for the 80s Est. And if you haven't already hit like and subscribe, I don't know what's wrong with you. We've asked you 100 times now. Well, all right, 78 times now, whatever we're up to.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know. So, thanks for listening. We really appreciate you. And that's all for today's show, though. So join us next time on the 80sest, when we're going to reveal the fourth matchup in our singers region. That's going to be 4 seed and one of the longest titles we've had so far, Silent Running, parentheses, on dangerous ground, end parentheses, against 13 seed, Toy Soldiers. That's going to be fun. But until that happens, on behalf of Joe Wack, this has been Keith Marsteller saying, hey, Joe, would you say that we're kind of brothers?
I mean, absolutely, man.
I mean, do you think we're exactly the same?
Well, I mean, we have some similarities, but, also many differences.
Many differences? Like, well, what do you mean?
I mean, I think,
I broke him with the script. I broke him. All right, take 2. So, Joe, differences? Like, what do you mean?
Well, I have an earthly, earthy, plain-speaking personality, penchant for cowboy boots, denim, and pickup trucks. You speak much more eruditely, have a polished, preppy look, and a taste for classic cars.
I couldn't have put it better myself, Joe. Especially your use of erudite. Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
Oh.
While you are a stickler for rules in life and at work, I am more of a free spirit with street smarts. But of course, we have a genuine love for one another as well as intense loyalty, and we'll go to great lengths to protect one another.
Joe, what the hell are you doing? Are you reading a Wikipedia entry or something?
Oh my god, dude, duh. I am very clearly Gerald McRaney as Rick Simon, and you are very clearly Jameson Parker as AJ Simon. Don't you see it?
Oh, I do see it. And that explains why you've been living in a boat in my front yard this week. on, man. That is one of the hottest jams of the 80s TV shows, right?
Stephen Cannell had some great TV themes.
That's
Definitely.
so good, yeah. That one's going out to Jenny, a listener. She used to play it for her little brother, Michael Motorcycle, and swing him around in the air when he was a little kid. And so that one's by special request, Joe. So
Nice.
all right. Have a great night, everybody.
Yo.